Hey. Welcome back to the Fast Travel Lounge, everybody. Been a bit of a hot minute, some might say, especially if you are in a sauna at the moment. As always, for the last 4 episodes or so, you are joined by the wonderful, gorgeous, best person host in the world, and that's me, Stephen. And I've also got a bit of a sidekick going on today, as is the theme with Halloween for people to play dress up. We've got Saif. How you going, big fella?
I'm doing all right. I'll just say, though, that I've seen better hosts.
Yeah?
Better looking ones.
Yeah? Have you seen them on audio forms? You've seen a better host. Interesting. Name 4 of them.
Patrick, and Patrick.
And this Patrick person, is he in the room with you now?
No, but I wish he was. I'd have some nice words for him.
Yeah, we all miss him very much. Japan has taken too much from us. This may be the last straw. He's back soon, isn't he? I know. I haven't heard from him for a bit.
I think he's back next week. Maybe the week after.
Well, listener, if you do want to find out if Pat's here next week, you're going to have to tune in, aren't you? I do love a bit of a hook to grab people into. So what's been going on, Steph? Any before we go into the official Round the Lounge video game section, you been up to much?
Yeah, I've been up to a little bit. It depends what you want to hear about. Last week I went into work and did a bowling party. The day after I went to a Halloween party. And then yesterday I think I got ripped off at the vet. Which one sounds like the more interesting story to you?
I want to hear all 3 of them, but I don't want this to devolve into a 40-minute discussion for each. So give me the bowling story. What was your score? You get 300?
No, across 2 games I got about 247, I think it was.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
247 for each game. Look at Mr. Bowling Man over here.
No, combined.
Combined, you got over 400. Fine, look at this guy. You bowled me away.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Essentially, the way I've been describing it to everyone I've told this story to is that I went into work, I mocked everyone at bowling, I refused to elaborate, and then I left.
Did you go into work just for bowling, or did you just do some work in the middle of the day?
I mean, I actually did work.
Ah, okay. I guess that's okay.
But yeah, it was a fun time. Like, I don't go into work often, mostly because I don't have a reason to.
Yeah, if you can work from home, There's no fucking point. Don't go in.
Yeah, it costs a lot to go in there, and it's a lot of time taken out of my day to go in there. But whenever there's like a work event going on, I'm just like, yeah, sure, why not? And yeah, so I went bowling. It was a lot of fun. Turned out that I was the best bowler, but not by much. I only beat the next person by about 20 to 30 pins.
That's actually pretty good. That's good.
But the first game, when I do bowling, I'm really good the first game. Like, by the middle of the first game to the end, I'm doing really good. And the second game, it's like really weak again. But because I was doing really good in that first game, everyone was like hyping me up. And then I started doing bad in the second game. Like, what happened? Why aren't you hitting as many strikes? I'm like, so much pressure. You all put pressure on me thinking I was good.
Yeah, it's a very standard. Okay, it's good to hear that you can bowl people away when you want. Halloween costume, what'd you dress up as?
I forgot to get screws for a Frankenstein costume, so I just used green face paint to do a zombie look.
Yeah, could have just gone as Homer Simpson when he bowled 300.
You're right, but that would involve getting a white shirt and jeans. Well, I've got a jeans, I just need a white button-up shirt.
As opposed, it's not even a button-up, it's like a weird shirt with one of those 2 buttons.
Yeah, like a polo shirt.
Is it
polo shirt
like a V-neck? Homer Simpson rocking a big V-neck?
No, not exactly.
It's like a short sleeve collared shirt. Hang on. Everybody pull over if you're driving and Google Homer Simpson shirt. I want to see what it looks like. Nope, these are a bunch of Simpsons outfits. Look, top result is... It's not pictures of Homer Simpson.
It's all merchandise.
And it's all fucking dumb merchandise. Yeah, anyway, it is a white sleeve, short sleeve collared shirt. Yeah, anyway. Did you win Best Dressed?
No, we didn't have a competition for Best Dressed. It was just like a friend party. And even then I can tell that mine was not best dressed. There were better ones than me.
Yeah. If it was a competition and you want to mog your friends, what would it be? Who was the person?
Oh, I think either one of my friends that was dressed as Ichigo with the mask.
Oh, Bleach reference, absolutely based.
Yeah, or one of the random girls that I didn't know that was dressed as the Mad Hatter.
Oh, cool. Right on. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Or the one that had no effort, that was just like a plain black t-shirt that said, "This is my Halloween outfit."
I hate those. having an ironic Halloween costume is like, it's not funny unless it's a lot of thought. That irony is not lost on me. Hence, I do not care for that outfit. But well, that is what it is. And what was the third thing being ripped off at the vets? What's going on?
Yeah, so my dog every like 6 to 9 months gets an ear infection, so I just take him in, get him checked out, and get the medicine he needs for it. This vet that I saw yesterday, I hadn't seen before, so I think she just did like a full checkup as well and then charged me for that.
Ugh. Yeah, you hate to see it.
Yeah, because usually it's around $200-ish mark for his medicines because he gets different ear infections in each ear, so I need 2 different medicines. And no, it ended up being 300 and something yesterday.
Oh. Well, like, do you know if they performed? Maybe they did perform the check. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did the checkup and also a little bit of a fee for clipping his nails.
Ah, you got to clip the clickety-clacks.
Yep. So yeah, it was a bit of extra service, but he needed it done. And I tried clipping his nails before, and I accidentally cut a bit too far back that it started bleeding, so now I don't trust myself to do it.
Yeah, you get it on the wick, because like it gets a bit like dark, yeah.
Yeah.
Unlucky. Cool, all right, that's the Saif update. And the Steven update, because everybody's asking.
Are these people in the room with you now?
Yeah, they are. They're in my walls. It's that guy's wife. It's the CEO of Krispy Kreme. But what happened was I went to a Pokemon tournament last weekend, and I did not do very well, so I've lost all my confidence in it.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, you absolutely hate to see it. Like I did get really lucky in my first game. Like I did a good prediction, and then like he missed the Muddy Water. Which Muddy Water's got 85% accuracy, which means I never hit. But it was very like, oh, that was the moment. And then like the next 3 games, like the game 2, I like just felt like I like literally both my Dusclops and my Iron Hands, like the 2 staples of my team, were asleep for like 4 turns each. And that was like, if it had even been 3 turns, I like would have won. Like it was literally like they could not have slept for longer. And because it was both of them, it was just like I was in such a good position as well. And I was just, it's frustrating. But in the 3rd game, I kind of like didn't really predict very well. And in the 4th game, I kind of just lost my nerve and got shitty at myself.
So here's a question for competitives. There's a competitive scene that I want your take on. Because you lost to sleep, and I'm assuming you're going to be even more saltier about this at the moment, and maybe agree with, like, say they should do this. But how do you think it would turn out if the status conditions acted more like they were in Legends Arceus? Like, they don't have sleep in Legends Arceus. They have, like,
drowsiness.
Yeah, drowsiness. So it has a chance of not doing anything that turn. Kind of like paralysis.
Yeah. Well, then you've got like, I don't know. It kind of is what it is. But then, so like after the first game with the RNG was in my favor, like I could just tell the guy who was just like, he was so fucking shitty. He was just angry. And then I found out like he didn't drop, but I'm not sure what happened. But like he lost all of his other games. Like he went 0 for 4, and you can just tell he was just very frustrated.
Yeah.
So then, like, as I was sort of talking to the other people, I told him, like, oh, like, so what do you reckon? Like, what do we think about RNG? And everyone's like, if it didn't exist, you would have the same 6 Pokemon with the same exact 6 moves, and there would be, like there wouldn't be it. Like, it makes it exciting, was what they all said, and I kind of agree with it.
Luck as a factor sucks, but it also kind of plays into making the meta, like, more diverse.
And they called it a type of balance as well. Like, so a semi-popular set to run at the moment is Chi-Yu with like max special attack, Chi-Yu, and like with choice specs, I think it is, the one that boosts a special attack. And because Chi-Yu's ability essentially drops everyone's on the field their special defense by 1, using like an overheat is literally a one-shot KO on anything. But because overheat only has a 90% accuracy, like while like it should knock out everything. If it misses, that's it. Like you've lost. Like because everyone's like, oh, I'm going to gamble it on this. It's higher than a coin flip, but at the same time, it is just a bit. Yeah, it's kind of Russian roulette type of thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, it does sort of engage the meta, and I think because I got unlucky twice, like in 2 different games. Yeah, and the first game I lost, it was heavy RNG. Like if I had 2 Pokemon asleep for 4 turns. The chances are very, very low, but that's showbiz, baby. And I think now that I'm trying some other teams out, I'm really feeling that I'm like, oh, that Trick Room team, like I really liked it, and it was my play style, as opposed to what I'm doing with now. So back to the drawing board. We will rebuild. I've got 1 tournament on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and then 1 on Tuesday, because Tuesday's a public holiday down in Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Melbourne Cup. So I hate horse racing, but at the same time, if it gives me a public holiday, I don't know what to say. So, but yeah, hopefully next week I come back with better news. And I also last week as well, I bought my tickets to the Brisbane Regionals. So if anybody is in Brisbane the weekend of the 23rd, give me a message. Or the 23rd of November, give me a message. I'll be busy. Hopefully I'll be winning, but I'm going to hang out for dinner or something. Because this Pokemon trainer will be very, very hungry. But yeah, that's the Pokemon update. Straight from the horse's mouth. The Mudsdale's mouth. Pokemon reference.
Yeah, while you were doing all that, I was trying to search up like what all the status conditions are. It turns out that not many websites count sleep as a status condition for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's sleep, toxic, burn.
Yeah, I saw poisoned and badly poisoned on one website, but nothing for asleep. I had to go into a whole other page just for that one. But yeah, something that was interesting, like I just learned, is that drowsy in Arceus, it had the random chance of failing to axe because of being too drowsy. But on top of that, because it's not guaranteed sleep, it also did the added bonus of damage you receive from attacks is increased.
Oh, really? Yeah, Arceus had weird things like that.
Yeah, because it was a single-player game, they were more experimental. And honestly, I think I might like the status effects in Arceus more than the main games.
I don't know. Change is bad. But yeah, like it's some of the things in Legends of Arceus was cool. But I don't think I don't think that drowsiness one, like if you're taking more damage from attack, there'd be no reason for every Pokemon to not be drowsy or run a drowsy move.
Yeah.
And there's a Pokemon already called drowsy, so I think it's just extra confusing. Remember that Pokemon?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, that joke wasn't as funny as what I thought it was.
Sorry, I was also thinking of Hypno and all the bad connotation that comes with that one.
Anyway, moving on. Video games. I play them, you play them. Sometimes you watch them if you're watching a streamer. What have you been playing, Saif?
I played more Spider-Man. I finished Spider-Man. I have words about Spider-Man, or the Spider-Men.
Oh, hang on. Why didn't they call, instead of Spider-Man 2, they should have called it Spider-Men. That would have been funnier, actually.
I don't know,
You know
the way people were acting,
Get
I think
Sony
they just
online.
wanted to play man.
So hang on, so if you introduce a co-op mode, right? And then you've got essentially like Spider-Men's, that's what you're calling it.
Yeah, no, a co-op mode would have been really cool, actually.
Hang on. So Spider-Man 3, right? They call it Spider-Men, but the E is a 3?
You know what? I won't say anything more than that. I was almost about to say spoilers, but never mind. We're not there yet.
Okay, I'll let you make that decision. I don't really care. But yeah, anything else you've been doing?
No, just Spider-Man. What about you, Steven? What besides getting mogged at Pokemon, what have you been up to?
I'm literally fucking crying right now.
I'm sorry. It was right there. I had to do it.
Yeah, no, you had to do it to him. We will rebuild. But I've been getting into Yakuza 6, the Song of Life. I haven't played a Yakuza game in 6 months. And
So you were feeling the burn for it?
A burn's not the right. It just because they've got, well, now they call it the Like a Dragon series. It's Like a Dragon, the Man That Erased His Name, coming out in a couple of weeks, and then they've got Like a Dragon 8 coming out early next year. I always really, I want to see how it goes and gets there and all that kind of stuff. So I do want to get through and be up to date with it, but then at the same time, it'll be like you're right. I think there is a bit of a niche, and then I play those games, and I'm like, oh, that's right. These are these games. But alas, we will get to that later. Actually, no. Let's get to it now. I've already started my rant, and I think because I'm a polite host, I let you go first. So I'm going to go first. If you will indulge me, my friend.
I mean, you're the host. I don't have to give you permission to be indulged. You can just. The privilege of being the host is that you get to indulge yourself.
Oh, hang on. Let him indulge. Okay, so anyway, Yakuza 6 is a game that originally came out for the PlayStation 4 in 2016, I believe. And within the last couple of years, probably the last, I think, 12 to 24 months, Xbox or Microsoft has been doing a very big push to bring these games to Xbox, and that's through Game Pass as well. Like it was a big deal when they brought Yakuza 7, which came out, or Like a Dragon 7. Oh, it's Yakuza Like a Dragon. That's what Yakuza 7 was called. Man, it's so confusing. So when they brought that over 2 or 3 years ago, there was a big deal of all the Yakuza games are coming. So there's So while this is called Yakuza 6, it starts off with 0, which is like a prequel type of thing that they released roughly around the same time. And then there's 1 to 5, and then there's 6, and then there's 7, and it looks like there's some spin-offs and stuff coming on. But anyway, enough. I digress. Have you played the Yakuza series and Yakuza 6, haven't you, Saif?
No, I've only played 3, 4, and 0.
Holy shit. You played the fucking worst ones.
I think 0 is great, actually.
That's true, because
most fan reception I've seen is that 0 is one of the best ones. And I also really liked Yakuza 3 and 4.
Well, so to give everybody a bit more context, so Yakuza 1 and 2 were games that were on the PS2, and they were it's a Japanese...
Of their time.
They're of their time. It was a Japanese game made for like a Japanese audience, and when they brought it to the West, they didn't really spend a lot of time like localizing it, and
they spent a bit of time actually. The first game got a full dub. Did you know that Mark Hamill voiced Majima?
He did, but apparently, like with and I haven't played the first two for the PlayStation. I've only played their remakes, Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2. Apparently, all they've done is just like rip the jokes up off, and like either completely like translate them to the point where they lose their meaning, or they deliver it in such a way where you wouldn't be able to tell it's a joke. And there was a lot. I think Yakuza, those are the PlayStation 2 games, and then 3, 4, and 5 are the PlayStation 3 games. And I think 3 and 4 sold really, really badly in the West, to the point where like they weren't going to release Yakuza 5 in the West, and they eventually did, and it sold all right. And then they brought out Yakuza 6, and Yakuza 6 sold fantastically. And then Yakuza 0 came out shortly after and sort of reintroduced everybody, the Western world anyway, to the Yakuza franchise. And then they remade 1 and 2, Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2, and those are fantastic games. So my introduction to the Yakuza series was the remake of the first one, and I think that's a fantastic game. Maybe because 0 I played after I played 2, so it felt like a step back, if that makes sense.
You played it backwards because a lot of complaints about Kiwami was that it was just recycling so much from 0, because the original release was 0, then Kiwami 1. Yeah,
and they were like only 6 months apart or something. Yeah, anyway, that is what it is. But I'm glad that the Yakuza series has sort of been reintroduced. It's taken off in the West. Is that exactly? And I do really like the series. I do like the characters. And for those that aren't aware, these are they're heavily narrative focused third person beat 'em ups, I guess is what you'd call it.
Yeah.
There is a heavy narrative in the sense of like they'll have like cutscenes that go for like 10 or 15 minutes. It's very heavy narrative focuses in, while there are like side quests, what they call sub stories, and there are other things to do. It gives you clear direction, introduces you to a bajillion different characters, and it's kind of different as well because the Yakuza gangster type of thing that exists in Japan, I feel it doesn't really get explored in a lot of Western media. So it kind of is a comparison to like the mob mentality for like the Western audience, but it kind of is a bit different. Like there's themes of like honor and integrity and like family to a lesser extent. And then that kind of all plays through the main character, Kiryu, and that's the guy that you play. And he's like an ex, in Yakuza 6, he's an ex-Yakuza.
You know what? He's like, he's an ex-Yakuza in most of the games. In Yakuza 3, he's just trying to enjoy his life in Okinawa, raising the orphans before he gets dragged back into Yakuza stuff.
Yeah, and in number 4, he's a taxi driver. Or is that number 5?
That might be number 5.
I think that's number 5,
Number 4, he's like recovering from a stab wound.
That's it, yeah, and the guy washes up on his thing, and that's right, yeah, man. And these stories kind of are a bit over the top, and I do like that, but as a game, it kind of...
They are J-dramas.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, and if you're into like J-dramas, like they're good stories, but it's kind of, I don't really... Like, it just tries to do too much. So the story in this is that... I don't want to get into a retelling of the story, because it's just going to be me retelling 7 different games. But the TLDR is that at the end of the last game, Kiryu decides to go to jail because his adopted daughter wants to become an idol. But he only goes to jail to sort of like clear his name, and it's like, oh, like my dad was a bad guy, but he's been in jail, so he's fine. And he goes to jail for 3 years. He leaves his 17-year-old girl in charge of this orphanage, and then like a year or 6 months into his jail sentence, Haruka, his adopted daughter, is like, oh no, the meteor's like chasing up to me. I have to leave. And she just like leaves all these orphans to themselves. Like there's 6 or 7 of them and they're in like their teens. So it's not too bad. But then like, so she leaves to sort of spare the orphans of like hanging out with a washed up idol. But then Kiryu gets out of jail and he's like, where's Haruka? And everyone's like, I don't know. I thought she was with you. And it's like, what are we doing here? So Kiryu's gone to jail for Haruka. And then Haruka's just fucked off just to make it easier for the orphans. And then it's just sort of like, and then Kiryu's just looking for Haruka again. And that's literally in like the first 10 minutes. It's sort of like why did you make martyrs of yourself? Like, and I get the feeling it's probably like more of a integrity Japanese culture type of thing. And I guess it's for the sake of the game, but it just kind of feels
as
like
you know, in Japan, respect is a big thing. And if like honor is a massive thing, and if you ever dishonor anybody, then you've got to make amends either through jail time or seppuku, as the 4chaners would like to say.
Yeah, but it just feels like everybody's. So, and when I say everybody, I mean like the characters that we're following, like Yakuza and Haruka, like the characters that we're looking at, they're always making martyrs, whereas in every other character is like just doing their own thing and being very selfish. Then it's like, no, the characters like Kiryu and Haruka are actually better characters because they got their integrity, and because they can do this, they can stand up to everything. Maybe it's because it's the 7th game that I've played. It's just kind of a bit like, oh, we're doing this again, are we? But I don't know. I say that, but then like it's sort of dragging me in. There's like a subplot. Well, not a subplot. There's like things with going on with Chinese mafia. The Yakuza gang that Kiryu was a part of is kind of falling apart again.
Right, I forgot Yakuza 6, I think, is a game with secret Koreans.
Secret Chinese.
Yeah.
Yakuza 4 is secret Koreans, I think, with the rubber bullet. How some guy goes to jail for 10 years because he thought he committed mass murder, but it turns out they were rubber bullets.
Yeah.
And then someone came in afterwards and killed everybody, and he got the blame for it. And I'm like, it's very, very weird kind of stuff. But yeah, and that's the story, and it's kind of one of those things like I'll play for an hour and a half, and like 45, 50 minutes of that is cutscenes, and other 50 minutes is exploring this very densely packed. I don't want to say it's an open world, but you're exploring this city, and it's because of the way it's densely packed, you can sort of go anywhere in this city. But there's always things to do. Like you can't walk like 10 steps without there being like a pachinko machines, mahjong, the Sega arcades there where you can play a bunch of old Sega games because this game's published by Sega. We'll get something to eat and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of things to do in there. And there are all those things that exist in a way that's like, okay, I don't want to play the main story anymore. I want to ride a motorbike or something on a simulator type thing. And it will play karaoke, and that's all cool. There is combat that exists that's kind of like a borderline random encounters with other gangsters or Yakuza in the city or even thugs. And that's kind of, there's a couple of combos you can do for that. It's just essentially like just brawling, like 3 punches and 4 light attacks, then 1 heavy attack. You can pick up a bunch of stuff to hit. The combat does get a bit boring in this one because in previous Yakuza 4 and 5 and 0 as well, you've got different characters that sort of mix it up, whereas like now you've only got this one character that it's like, okay, I know what this guy does. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Yakuza 6 was a complete from the ground up redo for the series. Like they made a brand new engine to take advantage of the PS4. And
yeah, it's a Dragon engine as well, which is a fucking sick name for an engine.
It is. It's such a good name. It's also kind of, I think it was ahead of its time. It was pushing too many things that the PS4 at the time couldn't handle, so it was very fluctuating in performance.
Well, see, I'm not getting that. Like, number one, this game is fucking gorgeous. Like, in all you can see all of the cutscenes are like CG, and they look so gorgeous, all of them. The city looks really gorgeous when you're running around, and like if it's like drizzling and there's like a puddle on the ground, you can see the reflections. It looks amazing. The lighting is fantastic.
Yeah, and a big thing for them was like you could seamlessly go in and out of the shops without it being like a separate loading screen.
Yeah, like you go into a shop, there's the door opens and you're in the shop and you talk to someone and the menu comes up. And better thing as well is like when you're walking around and you have those random encounters, it is literally like there is no difference. It's like, oh, I'm walking. Oh, now I'm in combat. And there's like 3 seconds after combat where you can sort of tell it sort of like zooms into Kiryu. He says something in Japanese, but I don't know what it is because they don't have the subtitles on for combat for whatever reason. And then you're back in the thing. So that 3 seconds does feel like it's resetting you back into the open world. But the performance, maybe because I'm playing this on the Series X.
No, it performs a lot better now, but at launch, it was rough.
Yeah.
Like vanilla PS4, it was rough. I think with the PS4 Pro, it started being fine.
Well, but yeah, this game is like gorgeous. Probably one of the best looking games I've ever played. And it runs so smooth as well. Very, just like straight like silk. Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that they dropped it for Unreal, but I guess it's just easier to develop on Unreal now.
Yeah, it feels... I don't know. Maybe because I played Yakuza 1 and 2 like 3 years ago now. And because I went through 3, 4, and 5, which are PS3 era games, this one just feels a lot more smoother than that. So I think I've forgotten all the quality of life stuff from 0, 1, and 2. And now I'm sort of like, oh, well, it looks so good compared to 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
So I remember when I played Yakuza 3 year and a half, 2 years ago now, I remember that being like, whoa, this is harsh. Like it wasn't bad, but I'm like, well, this is very hard.
It was acceptable at the time it was released.
Yeah, and that's kind of a bit hard to sort of go back and play those old games. It's good that they are available on Game Pass if you want to go and play it and sort of just play out the story and then go back. But there were a couple of fights in Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 that I'm like, this isn't fun. Like it's... whereas Yakuza 6 seems to have fixed all of that. And while the story is a bit over the top at some points, I am really enjoying it. Not really enjoying it. It's not the right word, but I do want to see its conclusion. It's like something big's happening at the start, and then there's a mystery, and then it's like a bunch of filler in to figure out that mystery, and then I'll eventually figure out that mystery. And I do want to find out what that mystery is, but it's just getting there. It's like, okay, right, we're talking to the Chinese mafia. Okay, the Tojo clan, the clan that Kiryu belongs to, they're going in strife again, and he has to go and fix them up. Oh, look, the Yakuza gang in Hiroshima needs help. Oh, look, looks like Kiryu is going to help them out as well. It's just like a lot of like, not detours, but like to solve one mystery, he has to solve 20 others that I just don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it. It does have like at the start, you can look at a replay of the first 5 games if you really wanted to do that. I'm not really sure if it's worth it. Like, you're not really going to get it. You might, maybe the first 2.
It gives you the key plot points of each game to catch you up on what you're up to. It
does, but especially when it gets to like 3 and 4, there's a whole bunch of like other characters' perspectives that you play, as in 3 and 4 and even 5. And it's kind of a bit confusing how it retells that story.
Right. I've never seen that because when I did the recap, it was for Yakuza 3, so I only had to deal with Yakuza 1 and 2's recap.
Yeah. And then there's like a couple of things where it's like, okay, cool. We're talking about Kiryu, and then it like sort of changes to this other character. So I don't think the retelling's that good. You might be able to find a better one on YouTube. But then at the same time, you don't need to play all the last 5 to even 6 to play this one. You just sort of need to know that it kind of gives you that throughout the story. It's like, oh, I was out and now I'm back in. And I'm trying to find my daughter type of stuff. But I'm really enjoying it. The combat's great. Even though it feels like you'll do a big battle and then you won't be fighting for a while, which kind of breaks it up, which doesn't make the grind feel too much. There's a bunch of leveling you can do to increase stats and get different bonuses and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I get the feeling I'm just rambling on because this game does a lot of different things. And I get the feeling I've said that about a bunch of games recently. But this game does a lot of different things very well. And it serves it to you in bite-sized pieces. Like, as soon as you like finish like playing at the arcade, it's like, okay, I'm done with the arcade. I'm going to beat some guys up. Okay, I'm done beating these guys up. I'm going to go watch a 10 or 15 minute cutscene. And it does it very well. And I am enjoying it. I'm not sure. I think I'm 15 hours into it, maybe 10 actually. And I'm genuinely enjoying it much more than I was probably Yakuza 3 and 4. And probably even 5. I did enjoy 5 a little bit, but kind of fell off towards the end. But I'm really enjoying this. At the moment, I reckon it's an 8 out of 10. But depending on how like side content goes, because a lot of these games have a lot of like sub stories that are like sort of side quest type of things. And that's sort of where the writing really shines in these games. So we'll sort of see how that goes towards the end. But I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Go play it, Saif. If you've played 4 and 5 and 3 and 4 and Kiwami, and 0, highly recommend getting onto it.
Yeah, it's been one of those things I want to get on eventually. It's just I actually do own all of the games physically. I even own the Lost Judgment games.
Those games, yeah, those weird detective spin-off ones. Oh, you got one, you're playing them.
It's just they're very long games, so I need to be in the mindset of wanting to go through them. I think once I start them, I'm just going to do them back to back. Maybe a break every couple of games, but I do want to catch up so I can get to Like a Dragon 8 sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think playing them back to back, you'll burn out very fast on them. But then at the same time, if you play them back to back, you'll be able to see the game. But it's kind of weird because they remade 1 and 2, like literally from the ground up. So if you play 1 and 2 and then 3, like what I did, like playing number 3 is literally like a very big break. Like it's like jarring, you get whiplash with it. But at the same time, I'd highly recommend it. Yakuza 6, A Song of Life. I don't know where they come up with that Song of Life title. There's no singing in this game, apart from the karaoke.
Anyway, I don't actually know where they got that subtitle from.
I think it's the only one with a subtitle as well.
I mean, there's Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon.
Yeah, but I think that's just because in Japan it's called the Like a Dragon series.
Yeah, it was them being cheeky and starting to do the merger of the name across regions.
But anyway, from Japan to New York, swing into Spider-Man 2. How you going? Finished it? You like it?
I finished it. I do really enjoy it. I will say I probably oversold it a little too much last week when I came in with a 9 and said it can only go up. Like right off the bat, I'm going to say I'm going to end up giving this an 8, but this is like a high 8. If it was Metacritic score, the lowest I would possibly see it being given is like an 85.
We're not doing it out of 100s, out of 10.
No, we're not doing it out of hundreds, but I just want to break down that like this is on the upper side of what I'd give an 8 out of 10. Like for a little while I was arguing like, should I give it a 9? Should I give it an 8? And then I was like, if I have to argue these, I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, if you're trying to justify it being a 9, it's not a 9.
It's mostly because I want to give it a 9 because of how good the game feel of the game is and how much of a technical marvel it is. But in the end, it's the story holding it back just a little bit. It's mostly because... So in the first game, you had like Martin Lee as the villain for the first 2/3 of the game, and then Dr. Octavius would come in for the last third. He'd like kick off, absolutely fucking up New York, and you'd have to take care of him after he brings in the Sinister Six. Like, things kick up a huge notch in that last third. They do a similar sort of structure here. There's like Kraven is the villain for the first 2/3, and then things get kicked up a notch when Venom takes over as the main villain. And it's just those first 2/3 where Kraven is the villain isn't very strong, especially compared to the first game. It's not as strong as Martin Lee was as a villain. It's mostly because it feels like they're trying to juggle too much with this game that it makes it overall weaker, just a little bit.
Do you mean like too much as in terms of story content? Like they're trying to tell too many things?
Yeah, there's too much because it's like they got Peter and they got Miles, so they're juggling what they're both doing. They've got Kraven coming in, but they've done Kraven a little wrong in this game. Like, they haven't done him justice. And they're also juggling the symbiote stuff and the return of Harry Osborn as well. Just a lot's being thrown onto this game's plate, and they do well. It's just they could have done a lot better, especially seeing how the first game story felt tighter. This one isn't as tight as that game.
Is that half of the problem? Or not half the problem, but is it because they've tried to do that second character?
I don't know if it's because they tried to do that second character, but more just because it's not because they tried to do that second character, but because there's so much that overall it could have used like another pass to tighten things up, like another story pass to tighten things up a little bit. Because I won't try to get too much into spoilers. My big problem with Kraven is that they do a lot of telling you he's a big threat without actually making it shown that he's a big threat, and you interact with him very little throughout the story. Like, I think you only interact with him 3 or 4 times before having your big boss fight with him, where Martin Lee in the first game, you had interactions with him as Peter Parker throughout the game, and he was doing a lot of things throughout the game, and he was involved with both Peter's life through Feast and Miles' life when he did the bombing and killed Miles' dad. And that's a big plot point that comes back up in this game. Like, they've shown Martin Lee in the trailers, so I'm not going to dance around him being in this game, but because he's around in the world again, Miles has to deal with, like, trying to confront Martin Lee and try to catch him because he doesn't want what happened to his father happening to anyone else. And that's an interesting plot that goes through. That one's actually really well written and probably the best storyline that's in the game. Miles in general is really well done in this game, and his story is really done great. It's just like the overall package of everything coming together into one big package it's mostly because of Kraven, I'll be honest. It's like Kraven was underdone, which makes like that first 2/3 of the game feel like a little bit of a meandering.
Yeah, you're kind of waiting for this threat to come, and it's like, well, why should I be scared of him?
Yeah, and he doesn't really come into play until you get the symbiote suit either. And that's like halfway into the game. Up until that point, it's a lot of like everyone just saying that Kraven's a big bad guy.
No, trust me, bro, he's bad. I know a guy who knows a guy who goes to a different school. So that's this guy's bad news.
Yeah.
But so it's a shame that the story's not bad, but does it impact you that much that the gameplay's bad? Like, is there enough side content to be like, okay, I'm kind of going to forget about the story and just do side stuff? Or you didn't really?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good side stuff. Honestly, the side stuff in this game is probably better off than the last game.
Yeah.
Like, the side mission stories are a lot better than the ones that were in the first game.
Yeah, I remember the first game having a lot of, like, I think I said it last week, I'll say it again this week, a lot of just, like, filler. Like, hey, go to this place and hack into this lab or hack into this tower so you can get more, like a Ubisoft tower type of thing, so you can unlock more of your map. Hated that. Hated it.
They got a lot of similar stuff to that as well, but they've lowered how much is in them, and other stuff that they've done has made them more like impactful. In the last game, like this is a very like both games do this exact same thing. In the last game, you had these research centers from the Osborn stuff that Harry was supposed to be overlooking, and you had to do all these science experiments, and there were like maybe 10 of them in the world. They've got the same thing in this game, but there's only like 6 or 7, and they're over a lot quicker, and they're like different mini games this time. So like one of them is like, oh, ride a bike through Central Park, but then the battery of the bike blows up, so you've got to start trying to get faster and faster to not have it blow up on you. Or controlling a bee drone and taking out AI like VR targets to try and train its AI to kill killer wasps and rats that are trying to take over the bee nests, like the beehives. So and they're very quick and easy, and like little breaks in the gameplay that are different from what they were in the first game. So they come out a lot better and a lot more enjoyable.
Okay, I think I can respect that a bit more. But it seems like it's a bit. Yeah, it's fluff for the sake of fluff, I guess. But no, look, as long as it's fun, I guess that's really all that matters.
Yeah, and they've got like side mission chains tied to 2 other villains as well. Those are like really interesting and really well done, I'd say. The ending of one of them is a little weird because it's a side quest that involves the symbiote, and the places the symbiote goes in this game, the ending of the side quest feels a little lax for the situation.
Okay, I think I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, they're very well done, and they let you take a few side quests on as either Spider-Man, and they've done different dialogue for both of them across those things and different reactions for them. They've also done some stuff that's like, oh yeah, no, this one you have to specifically do as Miles, or this one specifically as Peter, and those ones are also pretty interesting. But it's neat of them to let you go, yeah, whichever Spider-Man I like better, I can do the majority of the game as them.
Yeah, that's good. Like, don't give us 2 characters and be like, no, you have to be this guy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think another big, like, going back a little bit to the story problem is that I feel like the game is, instead of being split 50-50, it's like 70-30 for Peter and Miles. Like, Peter is the majority of this game. And I don't think that's a problem, because a lot of people just really like Peter Parker and want him as the main Spider-Man. But at the same time, I do kind of feel like Miles gets a little bit of the short end of the stick, and it should probably aim at being like 60-40 or 55-45.
What, is that just because you like Miles as a better character?
Not necessarily as I like him as a better character. It just feels like he could have used a little bit more.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
if you got the two Spider-Men and you want to do a game that's split between them, I feel like he got a little bit of the short end of the stick in this one.
Yeah, you kind of have to go like either do both or do
Yeah, because there was one specific section in the middle of the game where it was like, okay, I've done like 3 missions as Peter, then it switched me over to Miles, and it's like one mission, and then it opens up a side quest chain, but the next story mission it goes back to Peter, and I'm like, that's a little weird.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that is a bit weird,
and not giving it away as too big of a thing, but Miles has to win the award for worst suit designer in the world.
I mean, why?
One of the suits he gets in this game is the worst Spider-Man suit I have ever seen.
Oh, ugh. That bad, eh?
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, what was? You get that on the big job sometimes.
He should not be allowed near a sewing machine.
Oh, that bad, eh?
Yeah.
Ugh. That's How are the suits? I've heard very good things about all the suits.
There's too many movie suits for Peter.
Yeah. Well, he's in a lot more movies, I guess.
Yeah, but
wait, hang on. Well, you can't, like, there are specific suits for the different characters.
Yeah, so it's split like, I think it's like 37 suits, I think, each. So somewhere in like the mid-30s range to early 40s range for each of them. So there's a fair few suits, but it's also like these are ones are Peter Parker ones, these ones are Miles ones. Miles' selection is all really good. There's a few duds in there, but his is the majority great. Peter is like a mix of, there's some decent ones, there's some bad ones, but because there's so many movie ones, they're taking up more slots that could have been used for more interesting comic book ones. Like I mentioned last week, you get the Sam Raimi outfits, but they didn't do like the recolor things on them, so it takes up 2 slots where one of them is a red and blue Sam Raimi outfit, and the other one is the black Sam Raimi outfit. And then you got like every variant of the MCU costumes as well. And then
that's that.
So those take up like 10 slots for movie costumes, and it feels like a bit much. And then the ones that are there that are for Peter that are like from comics or original, there's some decent ones in there, but not a lot of great ones. I think it might say a lot where I'd say my favorite costume in the game is the 90s cartoon symbiote suit, which is just like black with the white logo on it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I'm also a little salty because they took out my favorite suit from the first game. And I can kind of understand why they took suits out, because it looks like they've redone all the materials for them, so they've actually got to do the work to make all the old costumes come over to the new game. Like they've redone all the fabric of every costume. Even the Amazing Spider-Man costume got fixed up in one of the patches recently.
Oh, okay. No, I think I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've finished it, do you see yourself in like when the PS6 comes out and they remaster it, they slap a coat of paint on it? Do you see yourself going back to it?
I see myself going back to this when they do the New Game Plus update.
Oh, that soon. Okay, interesting.
Actually, no, probably not that soon. I'll probably wait till when the DLC is all done and then do like a full replay plus DLC replay.
Okay, I can respect that a bit more.
Yeah, because I think when the Game Awards comes around, they're going to announce a DLC roadmap for this.
Well, what does DLC look like in this game, though? Is it story content? Is it...
Yeah, they do like story content and some new side missions. That's what they did for the first game anyway.
Oh, okay.
They did like a 3-part story and some side missions that carried across them, and then just like, hey, remember the bases from the game? You can redo we got new bases to do. And like all the old side content, we just added more of that old side content in. So I can see them kind of just doing that again.
Yeah, all right, right on. I can appreciate that.
I also want to mention as well, like I harped on the story a little bit, but when the symbiote stuff takes off, it takes off really well. I had a lot of fun when Venom became the main antagonist of the game. Like once that comes in, the story started drastically improving for me in just terms of enjoyment.
And please, this is probably a bit of a spoiler thing, but and feel free to just ignore me if you don't want to spoil it. But I'm not sure who it is, but apparently the symbiote, the person like Venom themselves, I don't know how to describe it, is someone that is expected. Is that correct?
If you've played the first one, you know who it's going to be. There's like no play around who it is. Like, it's very obvious who it is if you've played the first game. But non-spoiler answer, it is not Eddie Brock, and I've seen some people take issue with it not being Eddie Brock.
Oh, where? In my Spider-Man movie, it was Eddie Brock. Where?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh, well, that's showbiz. I'm not fussed either way. As long as you're happy with it as a fan, that's all I'm happy with.
Yeah, and I was really happy with this game. Like, just playing it and the game feel of it is fantastic. It's one of the more enjoyable games to just sit down and play around with. Like, it is one of the most fun open worlds just to explore and do shit in. And they've got a lot of little things planted throughout the game that's just kind of teasing maybe future things if they want to do those. Like, the people are really digging into it, and it seems like maybe a Daredevil game will come along at some point.
Oh, don't know. That'd be a pretty weird game to play. It'd be like audio only. You'd have to play with your TV turned off.
He kind of has like that echolocation vision.
Stuff. Yeah. I don't know. That'd be a very weird game. And wasn't there something that I was reading about like that the Wolverine game that's coming out is tied in?
Yeah.
Or am I just sort of jumping to conclusions there?
It's not tied in, but there's like one of Miles' outfits is a reference to a Wolverine outfit, but apparently that's also just an outfit he had in the comics where he was dressed up like Wolverine at some point.
Oh, okay. Not like that ugly yellow-blue one.
Oh, they have that as an alternate color, but yeah.
Yuck.
It's like a Spider-Man variant of that yellow and blue one.
Yeah, right on.
They also have a Black Panther costume in there.
Oh yeah, did you see that? I'm not sure whether it's actually a real thing or not, but if you go to the embassy for Wakanda, Miles does the Wakanda Forever thing, but Peter doesn't do it.
Yeah. Because Peter doesn't have that suit. It's just for Miles. It has a Black Panther suit.
Oh, it's tied to the suit. Oh, okay. I thought it was very funny watching people online be like, "Oh, what do you mean? White people can't say the Wakanda Forever." It was very, very funny. I didn't realize it was tied to a suit. Okay.
No, it is specifically tied to the Black Panther outfit.
Fantastic. You love to see it.
But yeah, highly recommend. I think it's one of the better games to come out this year. It like
one of the best, not one of the best. Interesting. Huge call from Saif there.
I'm arguing whether it's second place or third place for my top 10 top 5 of the list for the year, because Final Fantasy 16 is just easily number 1 for me, but I'm arguing whether I want Spider-Man 2 as number 2 or Armored Core as number 2, because both have kind of hit that same level of I really enjoyed this, but there's some parts of it that are not as strong as the rest of the game.
Okay. Yeah. So if we can say anything else, anything else you want to bring up?
I don't think so. I think I am satisfied with this. Spider-Man 2, very good. Go get it. Like, if you have a PS5, go get it. If you don't have a PS5, get the bundle.
Ooh, my wallet, she no good. We'll see how I go.
Ask for it for Christmas. Ask Santa.
Yeah, see, have I been a good boy this year, Mr. Santa?
No, he's listening to the podcast.
Yeah, no, he knows. He's watching us right now. But yeah, okay, so that takes us around the lounge. We're done. Reviews are done for this week. So I don't know about you, Saif, but I'm feeling a bit of a breaky break coming right on. Bit of a stretch, a bit of a walkie walk, a bit of a pissy piss, if you're so inclined to go to the bathroom. And you, my dear listener, will see us when we're all refreshed and ready to go after a quick word from our sponsors.
Right now,
Mentos, the fresh maker.
And welcome back from the break. Just like to thank our Granny Smith apples for the sponsor. Remember, if you don't have a Smith, you don't have a Granny. We've got a couple of news things at the top of the hour, as we usually do, bringing the love of news to the world. The news from me to you, some might say. There's a new car being built, allegedly, Seth. The top of the docket is to be believed. There's a new engine being built from Capcom, which is very funny because I thought they did video games. What's going on?
Yeah, so we were talking a little bit before about the Dragon engine and how good that was for Yakuza 6. Capcom the last few years has been using their own RE engine. You might think that stands for Resident Evil engine. You would be mistaken, my good friend. That stands for Reach for the Moon engine.
Does it really? Are you having a laugh?
I'm not having a laugh. That is actually what it's for.
Huge.
But yeah,
actually.
To get back on track for a little bit, Capcom recently put out this video presentation about the past and the future for the RE engine. So they've just gone over like what their development history for it was like, and this is kind of like a showcase that seems like it's designed to sell people on using the RE engine. It seems like they're going to want to start outsourcing it to other people because they've had so much success internally that they want to spread that love to everyone else. And at the very end of the presentation, they're talking about like, here's all the stuff that we're going to do to try and make it better, like through development pipelines or technical issues they want to overcome. Yeah, just seems interesting. Like, this doesn't usually come out from Capcom, or many companies in general, and it's kind of weird that this video exists in the first place. But if they're trying to get it out to more people, I'd be interested to see what other companies do with the RE engine.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a 20-minute video. I'm not watching it all. Does it say if they've licensed it to anyone specifically?
They haven't said if they've licensed it out to anyone specifically. I think they have licensed it to like their own partners for games they've worked on together, but nothing specifically for other people to make on their own. But by the end of this video, it seems like they're trying to pitch it to other people to make their own things.
Yeah, it does sort of seem like as if it's like a 25-minute long slide deck.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool. I always like seeing behind the hood with this kind of stuff. Like, as someone who's not in any type of software or video game development, I do like, even though I don't really understand it, I do like this kind of stuff coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Be interesting to see what Capcom does, and they've had a fucking spectacular year this year.
Yeah, they've been on a roll for quite a few years now.
Yeah. Anyway, all the best to Capcom. Maybe Marvel vs. Capcom 4 will come out on this.
God, I hope.
It's not coming out.
I know.
Anyway.
But that's on Disney, not on Capcom.
Oh, true. It is Disney. Yeah, man, they own everything now. Maybe, so Disney buys, or Capcom buys Disney. Hang on. We'll be honest. But anyway, everybody's favorite co-op, I don't even know what genre of this game, Dead by Daylight, the famous game that has Nicolas Cage in it, is getting Naughty Bear. I don't know who this is. I don't care. Seth, talk me through it. Why should I care?
I thought you would care because... this was a multi-platform game. Naughty Bear was a game that came out on the PS3 and 360. One of my old insane friends used to love the hell out of Naughty Bear on the 360. And
okay, so I've Googled it. I have seen this cover. I never played this game.
It has not been relevant since the first game came out in 2010.
Man, this was given 3 out of 10s by IGN.
Yeah.
And for IGN to be giving 2 out of 10, that weren't too bad. But 3 out of 10 is fucking huge.
Yeah, so I'm just confused how this even happens. I don't think Naughty Bear is a thing anyone has thought about. The way I found out about this was someone tweeting out, if you remember Naughty Bear, then you're legally allowed to get a veteran's discount.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's... I don't know. Is this just leftover licenses that the developers of Dead by Daylight have? I don't think this is drawing anybody in.
Yeah, I doubt it's drawing everyone in. Might be the same publisher?
No fucking clue publishes this game. But yeah, when I first saw this thumbnail of what you posted, I thought it was going to be Five Nights at Freddy's isn't Dead by Daylight. Speaking of, have you seen the Five Nights at Freddy theory?
No, I haven't. I know it's a thing, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, one of the people at the Pokemon tournament went, and they said that a lot of kids in it But they said it was one of those movies that it would have been better on in the background rather than paying full price for the movies. And
I think it's on streaming services, which means you can just get it for free.
Oh, really? Oh, they saw it in the movie theaters. That's crazy. But yeah. And anyway, speaking of, I'm not going to do segues. And Ubisoft seems to be gone into the closet for Halloween and found a couple of old games that it wants to do.
Sorry. I need to go back for 1 second.
Well, no, you want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, the Naughty Bear thing. I think it's the first game that Behavior, the people that made Dead by Daylight, made. Oh. Well, not the first game they made, but like one of their first. It says on their Twitter account it's their first villain. It seems like they were doing a lot of licensed stuff before Naughty Bear, but Naughty Bear was their first thing that they did themselves. Yeah,
I'm just going through all the comments in the Twitter thread. It looks like it's a bunch of fucking bots saying, yes, this is going to be great. Whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, okay. So Ubisoft is killing a bunch of old game servers, which Seth and I have very different opinions on. Nobody's playing these games. That's why they're shutting them down.
Make them open servers. Don't shut down the servers. Make them like open for people to play. You know what? You know how old games used to be, where people could just connect to other people and play. They didn't need official Ubisoft servers to play multiplayer games together.
Yeah, right, that's fair. But then don't you get like a shit ton of hacking like what was in the old Modern Warfare 2 lobbies?
TF2 lobbies, yeah, but just don't play with the hacker lobbies.
That's all that exists, but anyway, so Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, or for Mac, Assassin's Creed Revelations, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Heroes of Might and Magic 6, NCIS, RUSE, Splinter Cell Conviction, and Trials Evolution.
With Trials, I'm curious if it's going to just erase the leaderboards.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Probably there's like been 4 or 5 Trials games since that, because these are all Xbox 360, PS3 era games, which 10, 15 years old at the earliest. So some of these games, I get the feeling Ubisoft has looked at these games, seen that there've been 0 players playing this game for like 3 years, and been like, let's get rid of it. Like,
I think it's just time. I think it's like, yeah, it's been long enough.
Yeah, that too. But I get the feeling that all the people playing Assassin's Creed Revelations multiplayer don't think those people exist. Which one is Revelations? Revelations was the third
NCO game.
Yeah, I did play that multiplayer. That was really good. I had no intention of going back to it.
I played so much of Brotherhood's multiplayer that I was burnt out for the rest of Assassin's Creed doing multiplayer.
That was pretty good though. I used to bring that back, but in a new game, not in Revelation. But yeah, you make a good point about Trials Evolution and their leaderboards, but I get the feeling if you're attached to a 15-year-old game leaderboard, I'm begging you, go outside.
But I do go outside.
Yeah. Well, do you have obviously you don't have a thing on the Trials Evolutions leaderboard then, do you?
I refuse to elaborate.
Anyway, speaking about Ubisoft news, look, I'm going to rip it off like a Band-Aid. Skull and Bones has been delayed yet again.
How could they? How could you bring this news to me?
I come to this on the day of your daughter's wedding. So this game's not coming out, is it?
Legally, it has to. But no, it's not.
But it's like, okay, cool. No, it'll come out in 6 months. Okay, they've been saying that since like 2020. Like this game is in the 6th layer of development hell. Very, very grim.
I love this PC Gamer article for having like a picture underneath the title that shows the last times they were saying it's been delayed. It's like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Skull and Bones is delayed again. Published September 28, 2022. And then that's from an article that says, I can't believe I'm saying this again, but Skull and Bones is delayed again. Published January 11, 2023.
Very, very grim. It is supposed to be coming out early 2023, which essentially first quarter.
And now it's delayed out of that.
Yeah, this game isn't coming out. They had that beta test a while ago. From my understanding, I don't know anybody that actually got into it. But I think they've got like a very big NDA agreement on it, to the point where like if you even post about it, they kick in your door and give you 3 warning shots in the back. But maybe there might have been response to beta feedback, because they did that gameplay reveal at not the Game Awards, the E3 thing that they had, the Ubisoft Direct or Ubisoft Live, and it was like very average. So let me think. Just gotta let them cook.
I don't trust them to cook. I think they should just get sued by the Singapore government.
Yeah. Yeah. No, very grim. Very, very grim. All the best, pirate bros. Stay strong. I'm still very surprised that no one has like ripped off like the Black Flag pirate mechanics and made that a single game. Like
that's what
Ubisoft's
this
not
was
gonna
supposed
do
to
it.
be.
Yeah, that's Ubisoft doing it. This isn't coming out. So then why hasn't like an indie developer or someone else gone like, you know what, fuck you, we'll do it ourselves?
Probably too hard. You probably do actually need 10,000 employees working on Assassin's Creed to do it.
Well, and yeah, water physics are shit at the best of time. You Sea of Thieves sort of, I don't know. Everybody always sort of like, oh, if you like Assassin's Creed Black Flag ship pirate, play Sea of Thieves. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, that and Sea of Thieves got turned into a weird live service thing as well, which makes me trust it less.
Yeah, apparently people that like it, if you're in the Sea of Thieves community, you really like it. But
yeah, but you
I have
say
no
that
interest
about
in joining a
anything,
community.
really.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people in the Pokemon community really hate the fucking game, but that's our business. But anyway, onto cool Xbox news. Very, very cool.
You're getting my
This game-
leftovers.
Thank you for beta testing. Classic Sony. But the Rollerdrome, which is a third-person shooter where everybody's on roller skates, I believe, is coming to Xbox. Yay! November 28th. It is coming on Game Pass as well, so don't even need to buy it. Thank you very much for beta testing, Seth. I remember hearing a bunch of this game, and then it sort of came out. And then
I
it was
talked
like,
about
that's
it when I played it last year.
Did you? I literally don't even remember. Did you enjoy it?
I don't remember if I actually did, but it was fine. It felt like in the later half of the game, it just started getting ball-bustingly difficult for bad reasons.
Seems like you got like a skill issue there. Oh,
It was a
It's
little
got
bit of a
pretty
skill issue. If I played it more and like just got used to it, used to it more, it would have been fine. But it felt like some enemies were a little badly designed, in my opinion. But it was short, it was sweet, it was fun.
yeah. It seems to be like all over the place. Like 79 on Metacritic. That's not too bad. And like 79 with the journalist score, 7.5 with the user score, and I pretty much only paid. You can't even pay attention to user scores. People just downvote because there's a person of color in it anymore.
Yeah, I played it for about 4 hours, and that was just to get through the story. There's still more things I could do in the game, but it's mostly like arcade ladder stuff or survival
Is
modes.
it? Yuck! I'm not gonna play that. Oh, I thought it was. I don't know why. I
No,
thought
those
this
are
game
the
was.
post game stuff. Like, there's an actual proper story that lasts
Yeah,
about
you
4
finished it in
hours.
4 hours. That's
Yeah.
fine. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I said, this is a very small game.
I don't
Perfect
know,
for Game
maybe like-
Pass, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently the smaller games do better on Game Pass. Bite-sized chunks. Yeah, okay. Well, all the best. Thank you, Roller Drones, some might say. And also, in other games that I wish I wasn't talking about, Dragon Ball The Breakers, Season 4 is coming out November 1
Hell yeah.
with a bunch of new stuff. Transfer, I don't know any of these fucking words. You're not playing this game, Seth. Stop pretending you are.
Okay, but I want to throw out there, it has survived a year, and it's gotten more seasons than Babylon's Fall has now. I mean, that was true before, but this is double now.
Do you reckon this is just like Bandai Namco Cope and they just keep pumping money into it?
I think it's Bandai Namco being able to just pump money into it because it's Dragon Ball products.
Yeah. All right, we haven't done this in a while. Steam Play Account time. I'm doing it. Steam Play Account for Dragon Ball Breakers. What do you reckon is that, Seth?
I want to say it's really low, but how low do I want to go? 57.
I'm bringing it up. I should have gotten this ready. I didn't think we'd done.
I mean, at least now you got my numbers ready for when you see it.
57.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you two things.
Okay.
So Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I think we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. They're getting a bunch of content as well.
And that's a very popular game.
That is a very popular. The game's been going for like 5 or 6 years now. Like, I don't know why it keeps going. But do you think, as of this now, as of 30 minutes ago, which one has the most players?
Oh, it's definitely Xenoverse 2.
Okay. How many players do you think Xenoverse 2 has?
Oh, that's going to be harder. I'm going to say 830-ish.
Well, I believe that you looked at that one because Xenoverse 2 has 811 as of 33 minutes ago. That was actually fucking very good. With like 1,500 in a 24-hour peak, which is fucking significant for a 6 or 7-year-old game. That's crazy. Yeah. They did just release a bunch of new content for it, so that might have been a bit of a jump. It does sort of seem, on just looking at the charts, that there are waves. Like it drops by about 500 players every week or so. Actually, no, that's anyway, it doesn't matter. And Dragon Ball The Breakers. You said 57 or around about 50?
Yeah.
248.
Really?
Yeah. As of 33 minutes ago.
I didn't think it was going to hit triple digits, but I didn't think it was going to be single digits either.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think it'd be in the triple digits either. That's fucking huge. But it's also interesting as well. The all-time peak for Xenoverse 2 is 13,000, whereas the all-time peak for Dragon Ball Breakers is 4,000. Like, both of these games do exist on consoles, so maybe I get the feeling these games are probably played a lot more on consoles just because Dragon Ball players maybe have a console or something. I'm making this up as I go along. But yeah, those are very interesting numbers. Both of them very high.
Yeah.
Is it good to see? I guess it is. As much as I go on about I hate Dragon Ball Breakers and it's a shit game, nobody should play it. It's good that it's there and it's good that it's stable and it's good that it's getting more content. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball and a big fan of the new Broly movie, which is what this sort of seems to be based on. Even though they did use the old Broly for the title card.
No, that's a new Broly.
Are you sure? I don't think the new. No, he's got the scar on his face. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, new Broly does Hulk out similarly into old Broly look, but he's still got the scars and everything. Yeah,
he's just got the scar on his face. He didn't have that one in the original one. Okay. Man, that old Broly really died, didn't he? New Broly's cooler anyway.
Yeah. It's funny seeing the old Broly, like the character designer coming out of the woodworks when that movie came out going, no, the old Broly would have beaten the shit out of new Broly and Beerus and everyone else.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Massive cope.
Yeah. You got tossed into the sun, big fella. You had 3 movies and all 3 of them you lost.
In the third one, he was a goo monster.
Oh, that's right. He was too. Broly. So there was Broly, The Return of Broly, and then like Broly Returns or something.
Bio Broly.
Bio Broly, that was it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Man, I fucking hated that movie. But anyway, on to some good news. I think it's good news. Lies of P has been very popular. Popular enough, it's getting a DLC.
Yeah, I believe it sold 1 million units. I want to say as a number.
Yeah, which is huge because it's on Xbox Game Pass as well.
Yeah.
For it to sell, and it is a multi-platform, so it is available everywhere. I remember when like Wo Long came out and it said it was played on 1 million units.
No, it was played on 3 million, but it had 1 million sales.
Right. Yeah.
It was like for every 3 players, 1 person bought it.
Fuck, that's grim.
Yeah, okay, so in the developer letter, they said that in the first month, the game sold 1 million units.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty good.
And the patch that is like a balanced patch is expected to arrive in November. It's going to bring in a bunch of quality of life updates as well, just kind of make the game better. And yeah, like you said, the game's done so well, like those 1 million units. They're going to start doing DLC for the game.
That's pretty cool. I have heard very good things about this game. I'm just not really in a Souls mood.
Yeah, Lies of P is something I've been super keen into trying. It's just the wrong time for me at the moment because a bunch of other stuff I was really interested in was coming out. Like there was Armored Core 6 and there was Spider-Man 2. Yeah, it was a bad time to try and pick it up. But I'm probably going to try and get to it before the year's out.
Very cool. Will you be playing it on Game Pass?
I will not. I will be playing it on Steam. And giving them another unit sold.
I'll give them another unit played. I'm interested in this as well, but it's just other games to play. But no, it's really good, especially this is sort of like I don't think they're quite an indie developer, but it's like a South Korean developer, and I don't think it's a first big-ish game. That's good to see. All the best. Wish you on the way. Now, absolutely huge news from one of my favorite games in the entire world.
Really? I didn't know that about that. You liked this so much.
Oh, I don't like Deltarune. I haven't played Deltarune, but Undertale, huge shout out, probably one of my top 5 games of all time. And the writer for that, Toby Fox, is doing that.
I still need to play that, by the way.
Play Undertale. Everybody, stop what you're doing. Look up Undertale. If it's on 75% off sale, which it is on quite frequently, go and play it. It is fantastic. It's It's semi-short. You can make it as long as you want if you do like another, like, because there's different runs you can do. Fantastic game. Highly recommend it. And the creator of that game, Toby Fox, like that's the guy's name, has done Deltarune, but he's releasing it in chapters. And
chapters 1 and 2 were out for free.
Yeah, chapters 1, 2, and up for 3. I think chapter 3 is coming out for 3 and 4. And then 4 and 5 are coming out a bit later. And they're both out on the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. But chapters 3, 4, and 5 will be paid releases. I've heard good things about Deltarune. I think it's abhorrent that he's releasing it in piecemeal. Either give me the whole thing all together or give it to me, or don't give it to me at all.
I think the plan was to have them come out a lot more frequently, but then COVID hit between 2 and 3. And he's also been super busy. Like he got contracted to compose for Pokemon and Smash Brothers.
Yeah, his sound design. Oh, fantastic. He did like the gym theme for Sword and Shield, I believe.
I don't think it was the gym theme. I think it might have been the open world, like the open zone theme.
Let me find out. I'm going on to Bulbapedia.
No. It was a Battle Tower theme. Everyone, I remember that because people were like, "It's the best track in the game, and it's the post game that no one touched."
Yeah, it's second best. The first best is the gym theme. The Battle Tower theme is really good because I listened to it a lot when I was playing online. Yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, he also did some of the soundtrack for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
He did the main theme for Scarlet and Violet.
He did too. Terra Raid battles as well.
Yep.
The Area Zero theme as well. Huge.
Yeah, like he went from Undertale to fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, and like Undertale, like you can tell it's a very low budget game, but like the writing's fantastic. While it's a very simple game, it is like it's fantastically done. The sound design is incredible. Everybody go play Undertale right now. It used to be on Game Pass, and they took it away before I could replay it. Damn it, I might buy it, actually. I love it so much. It's top 5, 100% top 5. So good. I'm definitely going to be listening to the soundtrack at Workies tomorrow. But yeah, I got to get onto Deltarune as well. But yeah, anyway, where are we going with this Deltarune?
Chapter 3 seems to be complete. Chapter 4 has a very substantial amount of cutscenes and enemy work done, but Chapter 5 is still a ways off, Toby Fox is saying. So instead of waiting for all 3 chapters to be done and release them at once, he's going to do chapters 3 and 4 together down the line in 2024. And then when Chapter 5 is done, he'll release that. He's just like, yeah, I know people don't want to wait. Like, people are getting a little tired of the wait. Since Chapter 5 is still a ways off, I'm going to release the next 2 chapters early. And then he'll introduce the paid model when Chapter 4 drops.
Yeah. Oh, man. Changing topics now. I can't do a better segue. But I don't want to keep talking about Undertale because then I might go and buy it. The bit of the black sheep of this family, Saif. Probably not in my top 5 favorite video games.
Probably not even the top 20.
I'd probably say not even any of the video games I've ever played. But Nick All-Star Brawls 2 is getting a campaign and they've released a whole bunch of new characters. We're getting Mr. Krabs, Zuko, Uncle Iroh, and a character from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles who I've never seen before, Rocksteady. That's cool.
Yeah, all 4 of those are going to be DLC characters for the record.
Oh, are they? What? Yeah. Oh, I assumed. Oh.
The
game's not out yet.
It is $25 USD for the season pass or $7 individually.
The game's not fucking out yet.
Stephen, we've been over this multiple times. We've had many fighting games come up on the docket with season passes announced before the game's out.
And I'm still going to be very upset about it.
Oh no, you have the right to be upset about it, but it just seems like you get shocked every time as well.
Yeah.
And they also announced like a roguelike campaign is going to be in the game as well, where it's got cool. Like in the menu it's got like multiple branching paths that combine back into one diverging path. Seems neat. Will I play it? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. If this was free to play, I'd play it. It's not free to play, so I will not be touching it. Yeah, whatever.
It's $70 US for the game and the season pass combined.
And Mr. Krabs, Zuko, those are arguably pinnacle characters in their respective franchise. I can understand Uncle Iroh and whatever Rocksteady is. Pinnacle. Part of Team Avatar. He's SpongeBob's boss. Anyway, whatever. Gonna get wrapped up. I'm looking at the screenshots of this game, and there's this one screenshot, and it's got Zuko and Iroh sitting on the beach with a sunset, and it looks so shit because there's no shadows. It literally is like, this is fucking atrocious. Like, and I don't think they've got shadows in any of the other screenshots I'm looking at either.
They don't, but the camera's angled in a way that it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, just that one with the sunset. There's just no shadows. It looks so out of place. But anyway, I hope no one picks that up.
I hope Patrick tells us about it.
I reckon he's playing it right now. I reckon, yeah.
He can't. They delayed it.
Oh no, I reckon no. He's probably talking to Mr. Nickelodeon, talking to the Big Bob. I don't know. I'm talking shit now. But in other fighting games, is this a fighting game? I'm not too sure.
It is.
But Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising, that's a fucking name and a half, is having an open beta cross-play this weekend. Oh, actually, no, sorry, it's next weekend, November 9th to 12th.
Yep.
Are you joining? It's only for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Steam. So I don't know why anybody would play it. They'd probably only get like 10 players because not a lot of people play those consoles or PC.
Oh, I didn't have it on the docket, but Microsoft fucked over the FGC this week.
Oh, I don't care about that. Shouldn't be using unofficial controllers. That's my opinion. I don't really have an opinion.
But all arcade sticks are made like from unofficial parts. Like everyone uses the Brooks parts because they just work on everything. And now Brooks converters don't work on Xbox anymore.
Is that? I thought they were like, it was just the wording in their press release made it seem like you can only use Microsoft stuff, but it actually includes like other partner brands. It
includes other partner brands, but Brooks isn't a partner brand.
Oh, unlucky. Well, do you want to explain your story or just ignore it?
I'll quickly explain it. So recently what's come up is that Microsoft they haven't done it yet, but they're going to start blocking third-party accessories on their consoles. So anything that's not from them directly or partnered with them won't be working on their consoles anymore. And this is apparently supposed to combat cheaters in like FPS games and like using turbo buttons and everything. It also has the unfortunate effect of affecting the entire Xbox FGC community. Right before Killer Instinct is getting a free update that massively overhauls the game. Not a good time for that. Mostly because, like, as I was saying a little bit ago, most arcade sticks that people in the FGC use, like when they make their own sticks, they use Brooks branded stuff, and they're not partnered with them. I don't think there's many partnered arcade sticks for Xbox anymore either, because they fell out of the wayside of being the main FGC competitive branch console. Like once the PS4 took over, everyone started going to Sony. Like all the fighting games went to Sony, and then all the arcade partners went to them. But yeah, so Xbox just kind of like accidentally fucked over the entire FGC community. And the kicker is that all of the things that they were trying to avoid for FPS cheaters, they can just get past the block.
The fighting game community can just get past the block, I guess. I don't know. Hey, I don't know what you want to say.
It's something like there's this XIM converter or something that like keyboards and mice can get past it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird thing to be like, oh yeah, well, I guess it's like the piracy argument as well. Like the tighter you clamp down on piracy, the smarter the pirates get and just can crack anything.
Yeah, in the end, you're just punishing the people that are trying to actually support you.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, Grand Blue, are you playing that? Are you playing this? So it got delayed as well?
Yeah, I miss... Yeah. Next article is that it's also getting delayed because we mentioned last week they had that like half-hour video of them, not even half hour, it was 80 minutes of them going over all their changes that they did based on beta feedback. So I guess they're just going to be implementing more beta feedback, and that's why they're delaying it by a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to try and give this beta a try because I missed the first two open betas they did because they came out at bad times. But
can't wait to hear that
doesn't
review.
seem like there's anything that's...
You know, this... hang on, Stephen rant time again. So it's being delayed by 2 weeks. So instead of November 30th, it's coming December 14th. But you get early access to the game on December 11th.
I think they also had like the 3-day early access for the first release as well, so it would have been November 27.
But why don't they have the 3? Yeah, I don't know. That boils my piss.
I don't like the 3 days early access practice.
And early practice. But it's, you're paying like what $1 billion just to access the game 3 days early, bro. Just wait.
What was it, like $100 for Starfield to play it a week early?
Yeah, like fuck, psychotic. just wait. And then a lot of the people that played it earlier have Game Pass anyway. People have too much money. Give me your money instead. And then I can give it to Saif as his allowance for editing.
Oh, I just tried to open up the delayed news page again, and it 404'd on me.
Ooh, huge. I just refreshed mine and it's fine. That's probably you. Works for me.
But yeah, from the small little bit I saw of it, it's like, yeah, they're delaying it because of implementing feedback based on the last beta.
Yeah, I do. Look, as much as I'm whinging about it being delayed by 2 weeks, I do really appreciate whether a game's being delayed rather than releasing a shit mess. Like City Skylines 2 was like, they knew it was going to be buggy and they said, no, we're not delaying it, we're releasing it buggy. And I'm like, it's fucking psychotic behavior.
Yeah, and this isn't even really, it's buggy, it's just, yeah, so there was a lot of things people had thoughts about.
Balance changes.
Yeah, it's all balance stuff.
Yeah, very strange. But in more fighting game news as well, Fighting Game Bros weird and good. And another game that is not fucking out yet, but yet has more DLC. Tekken 8 is getting 4 DLC 1 characters.
No, these aren't DLC characters. These are just characters being added to the game.
Oh, okay. The headline of reads Tekken 8 adds and it's got the 4 characters. I just assumed that it's like going to add them later. Okay. I was already set to start punching heads. Okay, well, that's cool. 4 free new characters.
Yeah. Technically, it's 5, but they're not counting Panda because it's just a Kuma reskin.
Yeah, that's whatever.
But they also revealed Zafina, Lee Chaolon, Elisa Boskonovich, and Devil Jin are going to be in the game. And they also ended the trailer by going, hey, there's 2 more characters we're going to announce. Next one's going to be announced November 2nd, and the next one after that is November 12th.
Very strange, because the game doesn't come out until like January 26th.
Yeah. I'm guessing in the meantime it'll probably be another beta test and maybe announce the DLC plans.
Yeah. Yuck. Alright, cool. Ooh. And in news that I'm sure Saif will be wetting his pants over.
I've already applied.
The way this game is described, it is a GPS RPG. Yeah, the GPS-based action RPG, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link.
It's like Monster Hunter now.
Oh, Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
That's what it seems to be like. But then, so this is Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. It is coming out next year. It is an early beta that, it is a beta, but it's a closed beta, so you got to apply for it. And it's only United Kingdom and Australia. But they released this very big story trailer for this game. And it does sort of have moments where it looks like it's like 3D gameplay that doesn't look like it's your classic Pokemon Go or your Monster Hunter now.
Yeah, so
there's like a little section where it looks like it's like, okay, this is just the overworld and you're climbing over shit. So I don't really know how this is going to work. Do you know?
Yeah, they've described it as like 2 ways to play this. There's a GPS version where you just walk around and do action RPG-ish combats as you like encounter Heartless while you're walking. Or there's like a controller mode where you can attach, like you can connect it to like a DualShock 4 or a PS5 controller or I think an Xbox controller as well. And then those turn it into like a regular game, but that also uses like its own stamina system that mobile games use. So either you burn stamina to play the game or the game burns stamina to time you out.
Oh, God. Well, I guess I got to make the money somehow. And I think in this whole trailer, I only saw one Disney reference, and it was Winnie the Pooh, who is in the public domain.
There's a few Disney references, like you see them pop up for their attack commands. Like I'm looking at now, I see Pinocchio, I see Rapunzel and Tinkerbell and Woody.
Oh, okay, I missed those. But yeah, I don't know what this fits into the Kingdom Hearts lore. Not all closed. I'm not all ready for this, I think.
It is in a time frame well before the main games take place, but it's still going to be lore relevant.
Yeah, they're talking about like the Forgotten Era, and I'm like, I don't think that's ever been heard.
Nope.
In the 5 Kingdom Hearts games that I've played.
And they also mentioned something called the Astral Plane, and I think that's tied to something in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Every fucking year, every fucking time we get See, they'll put out shit like this, but Kingdom Hearts 3 won't come out until like 2055. If they stop doing side, yeah, look, you know what they're
We
going to do.
already know that Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming.
Yeah, when?
We don't know
2050, I
that
said.
part yet, but all we've known about is that, Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4 are the next two Kingdom Hearts games. If they announce something else in between Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm going to be upset. I'll play it, but I'll be upset.
Yeah. Anyway.
And yeah, like I said,
All this-
I've already applied for the closed beta. I hope I get in.
I hope you get in as well.
Every time I feel like a normal person, a Kingdom Hearts trailer pops up, and then it reminds me, this entire series is just my lifeblood.
Monkey brain activate. Yeah, and you know if you don't play this game, you won't be able to understand.
I mean, I don't have to play it. I
next
can
7
just
games.
I can just watch the cutscenes like I did for the other mobile game.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Kingdom Hearts Cross, whatever it was. Kingdom Hearts X.
Yeah, Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts X wasn't even released over here. It was released in Japan, and then
Yeah,
they
Japan
did
only.
UX over here, which is a sequel to X. So we got the sequel to the game that never came out over here.
What do you mean? Why can't you understand the Kingdom Hearts story? It's easy. But anyway, I'm sick of talking about Kingdom Hearts. Our best friend of the show, David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid
And
games.
Big Boss.
And Big Boss. Or technically, who was it in Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3?
It was Solid Snake in 1 and 2, and then Big Boss in 3.
Yeah, but then he was he was David Gator. No, that's David. No, hang on.
You're thinking of Metal Gear Solid 5 where they changed it and it was Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought I was having a stroke there, and everyone's like, "Why are
That
you
was the
changing it?"
most Hideo Kojima moment. Like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, you're
But
letting,
you
you're
played-
letting your
you played
Westerboo
Metal
side
Gear
come
Solid.
out too much.
You played Metal
I've
Gear
only
Solid
played
5,
Metal Gear
though.
Solid 1.
It makes sense that why they changed the voice for Metal Gear Solid 5. Do you care if I spoil it?
I do, because I'm going to go through this entire series.
Okay, cool, fantastic. I'm not going to spoil it. Fantastic game, absolutely fantastic. David Hayter, Konami has put out a trailer featuring David Hayter, the previous voice of Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, and Peace Walker. And he says, this is only the beginning. And as we're probably both well aware, Saif, the Metal Gear Solid Hate Part 1
It is
collection.
literally called Volume 1, which implies there is a
okay.
Volume 2.
Yeah. So that's Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. And that's not to be confused with the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake they're doing, Metal Gear Delta. Metal Gear 3 Delta? I don't know. I'm confused. I hate Kojima so much.
That one's not even Kojima, that's just all Konami.
yeah, okay, I have the license for it. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, because Kojima's not with them anymore. He's not doing Metal Gear projects anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he just might have been come on as like some weird consultant. I'm surprised he doesn't own that IP, knowing what he's like. But yeah, so David Hayter says it's only the beginning. And meanwhile, data miners looking into Volume 1 of the Metal Gear Solid collection have found links to Metal Gear Solid 4, Peace Walker, which is sort of like a 4.5 type of thing, but a prequel.
It's
and then Metal Gear
in
Solid
between
5
three. It's
references.
between 3 and 1.
Oh, sorry. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, but it came out after 4, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why make it easier? And it only came out. Well, no, it started coming out for the PS Vita or
PSP.
PSP.
It was a
yeah.
PSP game.
That was a good game. I really enjoyed that game. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So it looks like there's more to come from the Metal Gear series, which is very good. Very good series. It's a shame that 1 and 2 aren't being remade like what 3 is being remade as. But maybe this is what this is hinting at. And if they do get remade, fan-fucking-tastic. That's sort of why I'm holding on, because I've only played, well, the only one I haven't played is number 1. I played 2, 3, Peace Walker 4, and 5. Just because 5 wasn't on the HD collection I got for the 360. It only came with 2, 3, and Peace Walker. And even with this Volume 1 collection, apparently it's just dated as shit. Like I said, it's one of those things, if you sort of enjoyed it and you haven't played it for a while, go play it. If you
I
a
played the
PlayStation
one
1 game.
through the PS1 re-release on PS3, and I enjoyed that a lot. But I don't have a problem going back to old games and adapting to them being the way they were back in the day.
Yeah, I think I'm just like impatient, and I can I play it, and I'm like, oh, that's right. The camera is it's not tank. It is tank controls for number one, isn't it?
No, it's not tank controls, but it's a top-down view.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, it's the top-down view. It can be a bit weird when you're hiding. It's just a lot slower. There's a lot of like quality of life improvements. It's just games generally.
I am
better.
interested in if you'd enjoy Twin Snakes then, because that's Metal Gear Solid 1, but using Metal Gear Solid 2 as the framework.
Oh, is that what Twin Snakes is?
Yeah. They also changed the cutscenes to make it more over the top.
Oh, I thought Twin Snakes was like a port of 2 or something for the GameCube. Ah, maybe it would like it because I did really enjoy number 2. There are a couple of references in just like general media that I'm just sort of like watching like Flash animations in 2010, and they were referencing Metal Gear Solid 1 with Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, Psycho Mantis stuff is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good. And just for those that aren't aware, Psycho Mantis, when you're fighting that character, that boss in Metal Gear Solid 1, it reads your memory card. So it would say, oh, hey, you like to play Crash Bandicoot. Well, I'm not sure if it would say Crash Bandicoot. But it's like, oh, hey.
In Metal Gear Solid 1, it was other Konami games like Castlevania. In Twin Snakes, it would read like, you like to play Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, which is really cool. And I think the only way you could beat that fight is to plug your controller into the second port.
Yep, because he reads your input from the first port, but not the second.
Yeah, and it's like that kind of stuff that was done in like the PlayStation 1 era, so I think it was like 99 or something. Or
those are like the Kojima-isms that people like to talk about, like him using video games and the consoles to their maximum efficiency.
Yeah, and it's that kind of stuff that I wish was done like more often. I don't know how they would do that. Well, I don't know how they do that in the Volume 1 collection. Like, you can't plug your wireless controller into a different port. There are no ports.
Yeah.
So I assume they're probably just like, yeah, cool, you can hit him, it's fine. He can't read your movements anymore, which cheapens the fight and cheapens the experience. But I do like how that was. I remember hearing about it and I'm like, that's not fucking true. And then looking it up, I'm like, well, that's huge. But yeah, no, it's I do want to see more of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And it's good that it is not being forgotten about, because Metal Gear Solid 5 came out 9 years ago now. And that was a fantastic game. But it sort of feels like nothing's happened since. And that's probably understandable because Kojima's doing other things. Like he's doing Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2. And then unannounced game for the Microsoft that he's partnered up with. But yeah, I'm keen for it.
Yeah.
Cool. I hope that means they're doing a remake. No, this seems like negative Game Pass news.
Sorry. I'm looking at the Psycho Mantis stuff, and the Master Collection just lets you fill in a fake memory card with the Castlevanias and other Konami games, so he does the full cutscene.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I'm checking for what he does with the controller now as well.
Yeah, you can just cut this out, Saif.
Yeah. There's just a pause menu you can do to change your controller input. It's like you got to press the home button and then go back into the game, and it gives you a selection of going, oh yeah, here's the second controller port.
That's pretty cool. I don't know. I think I expected it to be cooler. I think it was better on the this is probably the very few times I'll say this, but it was cooler in the old time.
Yeah, the physicality of it would have been cooler on the PS1. I did it the digital way on the PS3, where you just hold down the home menu button and go, okay, change my controller port to controller port 2, which basically the same thing they're doing here.
Yeah. All right. And in a bunch of Microsoft news, I don't know. So Microsoft has dropped the Game Pass growth target for its CEO.
This essentially I'm just putting in here because it's kind of saying that Game Pass isn't hitting its targets, and to the point where the CEO is like, yeah, okay, I don't want this to be part of my performance review anymore because it's not going to give me a bonus at the end of the fiscal year.
Well, big surprise! He's changing the goalpost because he can't meet it. But I think it's important. It's important to note that it's not meeting the growth target. It doesn't mean that it's not growing. Which is always with subscription services. You're seeing it with like Netflix now and Amazon Prime that they've grown so much that they have to be like, okay, what else can we do? We can't make things cheaper, so we're just going to put in different tiers of ad services to make things grow. But those aren't really working because everybody's sort of sick of it.
Yeah, and then because that doesn't work, they just increase the price for the people that they've already got.
Yeah, and then people drop off and stuff, and then before you know it, you're back to normal TV with ads and stuff in the middle. Because that's the cycle of capitalism, baby. But it's also good. So this is GameIndustry.biz. I got to look at this website more. It's got some interesting stuff. So apparently, last year, Microsoft wanted 73% growth in Game Pass subscribers, but only got 28, which is it's a big growth. Oh, considering we don't know the raw numbers and they don't release those raw numbers, having it something grow 28% when it was actually supposed to grow to 73% is fucking huge.
Yeah, there's also an Xbox revenue was supposed to grow 4.4%, but only hit 0.7%.
Yeah, and it's. I understand as a CEO of Microsoft, but considering he's already on like $1 billion anyway, it's a bit rough for him because Microsoft's a very big organization, and Xbox is kind of like the weird little brother doing their own thing. Like they've got the Windows portfolio, they've got probably a bunch of like Microsoft web services and all that kind of stuff, like Word and all that. And there is like the Xbox game studios, which are. If you look at the game market itself, it's definitely the black sheep when you compare it to Nintendo and PlayStation. So it's interesting. It is an interesting peek behind the screens of what Microsoft is thinking.
He's shifted the goalpost to just go, okay, instead of like splitting all different types of Xbox goals, it's just going to be overall Xbox games and services of what my growth targets are now. Combining them all into one category, into a bunch of smaller categories.
Be interesting to see how they aggregate that kind of stuff. Like, is it Starfield sold a bajillion copies, but that didn't translate to Game Pass subscribers? How do they convert it? Maybe next year we'll talk about it. And also, as well, in more Microsoft news, Microsoft has reorganized its Xbox gaming and market leadership after acquiring Activision Blizzard. And it seems to be doing a bit more preparation for a general AI and games, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Sure. You seem happy about that, big fella. I think... so it does seem that it means that like the CEO of the Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, I think his name is, which is a very funny name. In another story we'll talk about later, it seems that ZeniMax and Bethesda are being brought in closer and his role is expanding more. And that's half because of the Redfall disaster, where they were being pulled in a bunch of different directions and they weren't... I'm not sure if they didn't get the support they needed or if it just sort of a lack of leadership at the top. But
there was a lot of problems with Redfall, apparently, from Arcane itself, and like them not being sure what they wanted to do, and the people at the top changing their minds every week of what they wanted the game to be. And apparently Arcane, like the developers on the ground floor were like really hoping that when Xbox bought them out that they would just cancel the game because they were sick of how their leaders were dealing with it.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like it just got dropped. Someone who played that game, that was so like very...
It was one of the games that released this year.
Yeah. Definition of a 5.
But yeah, also, I guess kind of worth mentioning as well is that Sarah Bond got got a raise to president of Xbox.
Yeah, I'm looking at their leadership chart now. Like Phil Spencer's the CEO. They've got a president. So Matt Booty's the president of Game Content and Studios, and you've got Sarah Bond as the president of Xbox. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Seems a bit fucking weird that they've got all this kind of stuff. But yeah, consumer sales officer, chief marketing officer, all these bullshit terms.
Bobby Kotick is on the board.
He's out at the end of the year, big fella.
I know, but it's just funny seeing him there.
Yeah, and that's obviously not a recent photo of him as well. Hair is very dark in that photo. It's no longer that dark. But yeah.
He also doesn't have his devil horns that grew in.
He's they took that out in post. But yeah, what I alluded to before, just because of the unsatisfactory performance of Redfall, Microsoft is making Bethesda and ZeniMax report directly into Microsoft as opposed to doing their own thing. So previously, I'm not sure if we talked about it, but Bethesda and ZeniMax is the owner of Bethesda, were pretty much kept separate and be like, yeah, do your own thing. Let us know if you need anything, but like all the best. And then Redfall came out, and then Microsoft's like, you know what? Let's reshuffle.
Matt Booty and Phil Spencer basically threw ZeniMax and Arcane under the bus for Redfall.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the easy solution. It's a failure on all parts. Don't get me wrong, but it definitely does seem like Xbox did sort of let ZeniMax and Bethesda run wild for a bit, and then when the kid came back and he's broken a window, Xbox was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to break a window." It's like, what do you expect to happen? You didn't help them.
They should have been overseeing them from the beginning of purchasing them instead of waiting for a dud to release and then going, actually, you know what? Now we're going to step in.
Yeah, but then at the same time, if the roles were like, if Redfall came out and it was fantastic, you wouldn't need to do anything. Like it'd be like play on so cool, and it's not like as if ZeniMax hadn't published a game before it. Like it's just, yeah, Microsoft gave him some trust, and then I could imagine that would have been a funny conversation to be out with afterwards. Why is this a shit game? But anyway, it's very interesting how that's what's going to be. It'd be interesting to see what the next game from ZeniMax Bethesda is. Like now that Starfield's out, and
I've heard they want to do Deathloop 2.
Oh yeah. Apparently there's Fallout remasters of 3. There's a remaster of 3. There's a remaster of Fallout 3 coming out, if you believe the rumors. They've got that Fallout TV show coming out soon. Yeah. I don't know. Cool stuff all around, I guess. There's also this weird statement as well. Sorry, I was just reading the headline. That's why there's that silence there. I just didn't. I read it. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this says. Retired lead designer from Skyrim says anything other than the Bethesda usual has to be approved by Todd Howard.
That's just such a funny thing to think about. Like Todd Howard has so much power, he can veto games being made.
Yeah, I don't know. What is the Bethesda usual? Like, is it a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls thing?
I think those are the Bethesda usuals, both the Elder Scrolls and Fallout. And if you want to do anything besides those, then you need to get Todd Howard's approval.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I can sort of see, like, he's a businessman. He wants to make sure everything's fine. But then, yeah,
But I guess you don't want this company to become a one-trick pony either, which is why they went with Starfield, which is kind of still the Bethesda usual, but in space.
Yeah, it's Skyrim in space. They said it was Skyrim in space. But
And now the next game is just Elder Scrolls 6.
when's that coming out?
They weren't starting that game's development until Starfield was done.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck for Starfield, and that came out. And I was like, yeah, this is okay. And then it'd be interesting to see what the Elder Scrolls 6 looks like. I'm very excited for it. But anyway, speaking of the broad, and now I'm sick of talking shit about Microsoft. Let's talk shit about Sony. A Sony-owned studio, Bungie. And we all know that Bungie, the makers of Destiny and Destiny 2, they've been hit with unexpected layoffs. I'm stuck with an ad blocker for this, Saif, so you're going to have to help a brother out here. I know the broad strokes.
Yeah, so last year, Sony paid $3.7 billion to Bungie. $1.2 billion of that was for staff retention. That didn't end up helping all too much because now they've come in and fired, I think it's about 8%. It doesn't say in this article. But yeah, they fired a large chunk of their studio, including like the original composer for all their games up till now. Like from Halo all the way up to now, one of their composers got fired. And as much as I do want to shit on Sony for this, there's been an update saying being reported that this was all internal Bungie decisions that made this. Sony didn't have any involvement with people being fired on this. But yeah, just it sucks that this is happening. It always sucks that all these companies have like great years, great profit margins, and then oh, by the way, we're firing like 100 people.
Yeah, very fucking common company moment. Always got to make that bottom line number go up.
And also because of this, it's being reported by our resident dickhead, Jason Schreier, is that the final shape expansion for Destiny 2 is going to be delayed to February 2024 to June 2024, and Marathon will be delayed until 2025.
Yeah. Did when Destiny 3 coming out?
Probably not for a long, long time.
Yeah, okay. I thought maybe they're restructuring in the event that they're going to read Destiny 3 or something, but no, that's not right at all. Anyway, that's it. On shame news. Back to Microsoft again. Yay! We should have reorganized this a bit better. But as we reported last week, Xbox.
I originally wanted this to be the ending point because it's like a big conglomeration of things that happened. But then you added one more to the article list.
Yeah, I did. The big news on the article's coming after this, so stay tuned for everybody. So Xbox had a partner preview that went for about 20 minutes last week. It did have it has 10 or so games that they sort of spent a couple of minutes focusing on either gameplay or developer interviews. And there was like a big feature with like a Dragon 8. They've got like a weird, for whatever reason, they're copying Animal Crossing in that game because that's funny and why not? They announced 2 new games, Spirit of the North 2 and I think it's the Finals. And they showed a bunch of other things, like they did a bit of a deep dive into Alan Wake 2. Showed a bit more of Dungeons of Hinterberg, which I'm really excited for. A bit more of RoboCop and Ark Survival Ascended and a bunch of other games I don't really care about.
There was also a small action game they showed. Icaro Won't Die. That was just like an interesting little thing. They didn't show a whole lot for it, but it was got like a lot of fast movement, some parkourish movement, and then some action gameplay in it. Seems kind of interesting. And they also showed off like a preview of Metal Gear Solid Delta's in-engine look. So that
game looks gorgeous.
Yeah, might not end up being how the game looks in the end, but this is like what the engine can produce for the game.
Yeah, I did see some comparisons with how Snake moves in this game when he moves like in number 3, and it seems like they've really captured the movement, especially when he's crouching.
A lot of people are upset the piss filter is gone, though.
Good. Shouldn't have been there. I hated that fucking piss filter on that game. It doesn't need to be there. Oh no, the game's from set in the 70s. It needs to have look like someone pissed on it. Is it the 70s? Not even the 60s. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, cool, neat little games that are all coming. But the moment we've all been waiting for. Whew. So apparently someone found a patent of a new Nintendo-based console. It looks very much like a 3DS with a top screen and a bottom screen. But if you close the screen, there's a screen on the top. So it's essentially like 3 screens, but it will be 2 screens at use or 1. That sounds fucking sick.
And the 2 screens can operate independently of each other as well.
I don't know what this means. Does this mean they're just showing 2 different things? I don't think I got this.
I think this is
like
just
you've got
patenting
control.
for the sake of patenting something because, like the article says, back before the Switch was announced, they did a patent of an oval touchscreen controller that had like 2 thumbsticks protruding out of it, and everyone thought that was going to be the Switch before it was revealed that this wasn't the Switch. So yeah, this could just be a patent for patent's sake to go like, yeah, no, we want to ensure that like no one rips off this dual screen console design before we can not use it in the future but want to own it.
Yeah. The amount of speculation I've seen on literally a couple of pictures is crazy. There are some people saying that like it could split apart, and you'd plug one into the TV, and the bottom screen would be like a controller, like just like the Wii U gamepad would. Yeah, I've seen it like with the top screen supposed, like when you close it in, that it's supposed to be like a Steam Deck type of thing. There's a lot of like speculation at this stage, and look, as much as I don't want to say it, I probably agree with you. Like it's a patent for the sake of a patent, or it's maybe something they're cooking. There's no way it's like the Switch 2. Maybe it's the Switch 3. The Switch.
The 4DS.
Oh, hang on. It's the 3DS 2.
3DS squared.
Or the DS cubed. Hang on. Yeah. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But
it's a healthy sign that the Switch 2 is on its way.
Yeah, if they're already planning for the Switch 2 successor. And I do sort of like seeing this type of stuff because it's like, oh, like this is what they're cooking. And for them to submit a patent, they're actually doing some research and development about that. God, I'd love to do that fucking job. Like just, I wonder what it's like. Just
R&D.
Engineering. Yeah. I get the feeling it's bullshit writing a bunch of reports of things that have failed, but in my mind, it seems cool. Ugh. Not sure if my microphone picked it up, but I just whistled. Yeah, there you go. That picked it up that time. Alrighty then. That brings us to the end of the episode. It's a bit longer than what we originally planned, but you know what? You get that on the big jobs sometimes. What are your plans for the weekend, Saif?
Oh, I don't know. I just want the weekend to be here so I can relax.
Any games being played?
I need to finish Soul Hackers 2 now that Spider-Man is done.
Do you have to?
I want
you can
to.
put a game down whenever you want.
No, we finish things that we start here, mister.
That is the right answer. Did not fall for the bait. Absolutely based answer. Were you playing Super Mario Wonder as well?
I was. I'm about halfway through that. I'll probably be finished with that by next week as well. That's been a fun little time.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. As for myself, I've started up Cassette Beasts because I wanted to play a We Have Pokemon at Home type of game, and that's exactly what that is. And I've got a Pokemon tournament on Friday, 2 tournaments on Saturday, and then 1 on Tuesday, because Tuesday's a public holiday here in Melbourne. So let's see if I regain my confidence. I just need like 1 good run. I might change the team a bit. I'll still be going. I've decided that I'll be going with the Trick Room team. It suits my play style, and if I purposely slow the game down, I get it onto my side. So I think that's what I'll do.
Does it suit your playstyle, or do you just not feel like making another team?
I bit of both. The other teams I was experimenting with, I just couldn't get them to work. It feels like everywhere was just missing a piece, and I just didn't know what that piece was. But I'm not sure if that's just because I was playing with a new team. I couldn't catch up with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm burning out. Maybe I need to take a couple of weeks off or something. So it just seems like the last couple of weeks have just been like, go, 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 go. But yeah, that's it for us at Fast Travel Lounge. If you want to message us on Twitter, it's Fast Travel Lounge minus an L. Fast Travel Lounge, sorry, with only one L in it. We're on Facebook at Fast Travel Lounge with both L's that time. Email at fasttravellounge@gmail.com. And if you're on Blue Sky, which I still... do you like Blue Sky, Saif? You're on it.
Blue Sky's been okay. It's missing a few things, but it's fine for now.
Yeah? Like, better than X?
I've been enjoying it more than X.
Yeah. Maybe I do want to see what it is. Maybe I'll try to... You got to get an invite to it or something, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a few invite codes, so I can just give you one.
Yeah, send me one. Yeah, so if you're on Blue Sky, fasttravellounge.bsky.social. Yeah, and if you've been playing a game, if you're excited for something, hit that like button, slap that subscribe button, and ram an email into our inbox. But yeah, thanks for listening. Hopefully we've got Pat back next week. So all you Patrick fans can stop messaging in, demanding to see him again and showing pictures. That,
we know you missed the
segues.
segues. Steven tried.
Yes, his shoes are too big to fill. My size 7 feet are too small for anybody's feet, let alone his big one. Size 14s. But yeah, until next week, we'll all catch you around the lounge next time.
Happy birthday to Mariah Carey being defrosted.